video is brought to you by me. Now I know I haven't been active for a while, but don't worry, I haven't forgotten about y'all. I've been a little busy putting together another channel with my best friends where we watch and talk about movies. So if you like hearing me talk about stuff, then you can watch me talk about stuff with my friends. We even reacted to the Superman trailer. Superman has been my most anticipated movie of the year, and in no way did it disappoint. This movie has heart, gut-wrenching surprises, and some of the most creative fight scenes in any superhero movie I've ever seen. It feels like James Gunn broke into my house, went into my closet, took my comics, and brought them to life. The characters, the color, the vibrancy, and world building feel unapologetically DC to me. I can't even begin to describe how much I love this version of Superman, Lois Lane, and Lex Luthor. The chemistry between Rachel Brosnahan and David Cornswet is so captivating that I almost forgot they're not a real couple. I totally buy their relationship, unlike other adaptations. They joke, argue, love, and forgive each other like a real couple. And that's what makes James Gunn's story so special. His characters feel like real people that you could be friends with. Lois Lane is a character whose instincts are to question everything, while Superman's instincts are to love and trust everyone. They're polar opposites, but that's what they love about each other. Lois loves Superman for seeing the beauty in everyone, and Clark loves Lois for the good intentions behind her character. David Cornswet embodies Superman in a way I've never seen before. The closest thing I can compare it to is Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. Usually when Superman speaks in live action, he has this stern demeanor with a little bit of charm. Or sometimes there's no charm, just stoicism. But David feels like a person you could meet in real life. He has this bright, hopeful, and optimistic personality with a little bit of dork energy that is unapologetically Superman. He's a man whose only goal is to do good, and like I said earlier, he sees the beauty in everyone and even trusts his fellow superpower friends with his secret identity. He shows a wide range of emotions alongside his personality that feels familiar but also unique to this adaptation. Some people felt that it was off-putting that Clark raises his voice in some scenes, but to me, it's just him expressing his frustration. To him, saving lives comes before anything, even if it means breaking international law. He's a man who truly sees in black and white. Either you let people die or you don't. He's so compassionate about himself and his moral compass that it frustrates him that people could view saving innocent lives as a bad thing. And the person that is essentially accusing him of doing said bad things is the love of his life. He's not really yelling at Lois, he's yelling in frustration at the situation because the situation he was in had to do with saving lives. And isn't frustration something all humans feel and express? Have you ever met anyone that was extremely frustrated and was stoic the whole time? You have yelled in frustration at some point this year. Him raising his voice demonstrates how human he truly is. He'll joke around, but he'll get serious when you need to. There's nothing he takes more seriously than the lives of others. I love that he saves so many people in this movie. A lot more than the last guy. Okay, Man of Steel hate is done. No more Man of Steel hate for the rest of this video. Not just people either, he saves a dog and a squirrel. When he saved that squirrel, something just in me lit up. I don't know what it was. It's a feeling I haven't felt since I was a child. He's even trying to find a way to help the kaiju. All life is precious to him, no matter how small. Now, some people on the internet feel like this version of Superman is weak, but I don't feel that at all. In his 3 years of being Superman, he only lost one fight, and it was to a guy who's just as strong as him. Literally. He's a clone. If getting beat up by people that are just as strong as Superman makes him weak, then almost every adaptation of Superman is weak by that logic. Superman gets beat up in every adaptation of any version of Superman. There is not one version of Superman that has not gotten beat up before. And getting help doesn't make him weak either because he still won in the end by himself. We see him lift an entire kaiju, hold a building, tank a fall from space and continue fighting. He used super breath to push himself, Krypto, and Metamorpho out of a black hole, all while still being affected by kryptonite poisoning. Ultraman had him in an arm lock that he then dislocated, and Superman still found the strength to flip his whole body with one arm. What part of that made you go, Superman's too weak in this movie? The idea that Superman can get hurt doesn't make him weak. Don't you think it would be boring if he just saved lives with no struggle at all? Wouldn't you lose stakes if he beat every villain in a couple seconds? This version of Lois seems like a character who sees the world for what it is and not for what she hopes it to be. She feels like the Lois Lane from the animated series, who's quick and snarky, but also admires Superman for his ability to inspire people. And as a reporter, she uses her skills to dig deeper and peek behind the curtain to find the truth. That is unapologetically Lois Lane to me. She's asking the difficult questions that she knows will get under Clark's skin in order to get to the truth behind his intentions through the lens of a reporter, which is why the interview scene feels so real. Superman thought she was going to be asking him his favorite color. She's viewing this as a real interview. Their battling of ideology perfectly frames how these characters view the world. Now, someone who doesn't care about people's lives is Lex Luthor. I was a little skeptical about Nicholas Hoult playing Lex Luthor because in all the roles I've seen him in, like The Menu, X-Men, Mad Max, and Nosferatu, he's just a nice guy. None of those roles screamed Lex Luthor to me, but after seeing the movie, he's my second favorite Lex, right behind Michael Rosenbaum. If we're going based off of just movies, then Nicholas Hoult would be my number one. The hatred that Lex has for Superman is poisonous. He's been studying Superman for 3 years, and Clark has only been Superman for 3 years. As soon as he announced himself as Superman, Lex wanted him dead. He hates Superman so much, he's visualizing himself punching Superman as Ultraman does in real time. The 1A scene is my favorite Lex scene because of Luthor's characterization and Nicholas's performance. He sees Superman as a constant reminder of how fragile the human race truly is, and this twisted viewpoint is the reason why he gets up in the morning. There's a shot of Luthor that lasts for about 10 seconds where you can see when he truly thinks Superman is gonna die. Look how happy he is. He looks like he wants to give the most maniacal laugh of his life. He can't help but to look down on Superman for everything he stands for. That last shot of both Superman and Luthor sums up their rivalry, with Luthor finally looking up to Superman. The envy on his face almost burned the projector. But the worst part is that he knows. He is completely self-aware that the past 3 years of his life has been fueled by envy, but he does not care. The only thing worse than being a hater is knowing you're a hater and being okay with it. And his hatred isn't directed to just Superman, he's a hater in general. He has a prison for people he hates for some of the most petty reasons. You can cut him off in traffic and boom, you're in prison in a pocket dimension. You could give Superman a free donut one time and boom, you're a hostage. This dude has his own personal collection of Snyder fans farming hate comments all day. It's a joke, relax. Quick side note, I really find it hilarious that Lex Luthor's little goons, his little tech nerds, get a kick out of fighting Superman. Like, they enjoy it. They are having a ball. This dude's enjoying the massage a little too much. There's a major sci-fi element in this movie that I've never seen adapted in a Superman movie before. There's pocket dimensions, black holes, a multitude of metahumans, a kaiju, cloning, a space imp, and an anti-proton river, whatever that is. I love how well these elements are handled and paced throughout the story. It's so refreshing. Something that is also refreshing is the action. I love that the camera just doesn't know how to sit still when Superman or other characters are fighting. The angles and choreography are all extremely creative and unique to this movie. The camera spins around Superman, flips with Superman, spins and flips with Superman, and struggles to catch up to Superman when he's flying. It has an energy like no other Superman movie ever. Gunn loves to swing the camera to showcase speed and to also reveal characters in the background. There's this amazing wonder of Superman flying around the kaiju's fire, and it feels like I'm a kid playing with my Superman toy with my eyes being the camera. It's so immersive as the main Superman theme builds. And as for the choreography, I love that this movie utilizes Superman's powers in creative ways. This Superman kind of has his own fighting style. He doesn't just punch or tackle the villains. He turns himself into a cannonball, he uses his heat vision in a more defensive way, he puts Ultraman in the dirt, and boy does he love to spin. He spins to gain speed, he spins when he's fighting, and sometimes he spins just because. Spinning should always be a part of Superman's moveset, and I'm glad Gunn kept that trend going. I lost it in the theater when Superman used the Engineer as a weapon and started whipping her around like a towel. He realized Ultraman could take a hit and started doing some crazy shit. He placed his whole foot on this man's head. Characters other than Superman get a chance to shine as well. Guy Gardner produced some really cool constructs that were unique to his character. They made me go, only Guy Gardner would make that. Mr. Terrific had one of the best action sequences in the movie. The way he commands his T-spheres is so unique to his character because it almost feels like a second language. You can tell they put in a lot of work figuring out what hand commands does what. I wish there was a little bit more uniqueness with Hawkgirl, but what more can you really do with someone that swings a mace around and flies? A lot of people were concerned that having other heroes in the movie was going to pull focus away from Superman, but that couldn't be further from the truth. They're here to not only build a universe where heroes have existed for a long time, but also to show how Superman's ideals affect heroes in this world. The only time they're on screen is when they're aiding Superman's story. They really don't have that much screen time. Jimmy has more screen time than most of the Justice Gang. The only one who has more screen time is Mr. Terrific, and he's actively helping Superman throughout the movie. Also, I love Jimmy, perfect casting, 10 out of 10. You see how Superman inspires the world and in turn inspires other heroes. There's a lot more I want to say, but this video is starting to run a little long, so it's time we move on to some negatives. I don't really know much about the Engineer, only that she's a member of the Authority. I only know of the Authority from Superman and the Authority, but she's not in that story. And I know she's supposed to be more of an anti-hero, but there's none of that in this movie. While her abilities are really cool, I feel like she doesn't have a motive for working for Lex. I can only assume her motives are similar to Luthor, where she hates aliens, but that motive isn't well articulated in the movie. You can switch her out for Mercy and the story doesn't really change all that much. I also think evacuating all of Metropolis to limit civilian casualties was a little bit of a cop-out. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't try to evacuate the city, and I really love that moment Superman saves that last car, but it would have been really cool to see in the midst of all this destruction, Superman saves a bunch of people and then end the scene with him saving that last car. That might be asking for too much, but when I saw the buildings falling, I saw an opportunity to do what Man of Steel couldn't. Have Superman save people while the destruction is happening. Now I have my nitpicks, like how come Superman didn't see the engineer when flying to Metropolis, but the highs extremely outweigh the lows, so I'm gonna end this video by saying, for me, this movie is a 9 out of 10.